Jerry, so great job on these measurements for your crossbones, Springer here, and okay, we're just about there for Xena's cockpit. First off, I just wanted to remind you to visit your design page, your cockpit design page. There's the tape outline exercise. Most riders report that this is the hardest part of the process, not the measurements, but this one, just getting your pup to kind of lay down in the tape outline. I take that as a good thing that's harder than the measurements. Point is, we do want to confirm that the standard size that you selected will be just right for Xena. I have absolutely no reason to think otherwise. A 70-pound dog is generally spot on in a standard, but we want to do our due diligence. We want to make sure that the sizing is just right. So keep that one in mind there. All right, now let's get into this. This looks great. I see your note, so you want to go without the seat. So there we go. Excellent. And then I think, keep in mind with the saddlebags on there, they're going to kind of create a bit of a protection or gasket, you might say, so that the cockpit can sit on the saddlebag, leather or vinyl, whatever that is, and that'll protect the paint. But if you have any concerns about the paint, you can get like some rubber sheeting off of Amazon for like $6, and just cut out a piece and lay it over there, and that's going to protect the nice paint. So there's that plan. That means, as you said, we'll have a full bottom cockpit. It will rest. So it's kind of like a bit of a seesaw idea, right? I mean, just in the sense that we sort of have this kind of area that's sitting on the wheel hub, and then we're going to have our brackets here, okay? Now, we do want these bolts in, okay? What's going on with this, right? They don't seem to line up at all. Well, this is one of these tricky things with the photo. So number one, do not worry about the photo at all, okay? It's meaningless. It's just for description so I can point to things and explain. We all know kind of the photos have perspective, and the further a thing away is, the smaller it looks. So we have this issue where like the bolts on the sides are further down, and so I've got to zoom the photo in closer to like get it to line up. And then the more I zoom it in, the like wackier this whole thing gets with this guy lining up. So there's no way to win this, okay? There's no way, and we don't need to. Okay, all we care about are the numbers. Our builders build to the numbers. We don't care about the photo at all. Okay, so please don't kind of let that get in there and mess you up. So the point is, we've got this bolt back here. We've got the bolt hole up here. We do want to use them, okay, because that creates sort of an anchor. All right. It holds the cockpit front back in place. We've got the brackets in here that of course are going to be solidly mounted, but then these guys like really like just lock it in its place, so that there's like sort of no kind of front back or rotation or anything like that can happen. It's valuable, okay? And so the first thing I just want to mention is, when you take that board, that level, okay, that you use to do these vertical measurements, uh, do keep in mind where these different kind of features exist on the wheel hub, because if they are further down on the wheel hub, let's say back here, then the bolt hole actually, or the bolt actually, goes out to an angle. Okay, and so you want to kind of use a pen or pencil. You put it into the bolt hole, and you can see the angle that it creates, because that will be relevant, right? Like the hole might be here, but the angle may have the bolt sticking back a little bit, and we want our bolt hole to be lined up with where the bolt is at this level, right? So you just kind of can imagine, let's say this guy goes like this, right? Then we want the bolt hole here, not here. Seems very subtle, very small, but it's worth taking into account, so that that bolt hole really lines up with where you need it. Okay. good. No stress there, no issue. Just, keep that in mind because you're going to have your level here. We're going to have solid brackets going down just like you see. This one will be in a V shape so that we provide 2 points of support, okay? And excellent, okay? So let's get into this then. We're going to have the side-to-side measurements the same as what you provided. These front-back measurements are different, and that's where we're going to start with this. So we took your first measurement, went to the rider's back, and we moved back 8 centimeters. That's where we put the front of the cockpit. So that's what you're going to do now. You will be seated in the normal riding position on your bike. You'll measure back 8 centimeters, mark that location on the wheel hub, okay? That's the front of the metal frame of the cockpit. Now, when it's upholstered, you're going to lose about 3 centimeters, so it'll expand. But we're not worried about that right now. We're talking about the metal frame. So 8 centimeters behind your back. Mark that location. Now, that's the new starting point for all of our front-back measurements. That's why they look different. So let's do it. Front brackets, right, just on the outside of the fender, side to side, 27.9. Okay, so all that stuff gets pulled out. The bracket slides in, everything goes back in. Okay, that's the plan. 27.9 and then 9.8 from the front of the cockpit, right? The rear brackets, 31, so it all goes out a little bit wider is what we're seeing here. 31 side to side, and 36.2 from the front of the cockpit. Okay, so that's our double check here. Now this front bolt hole, we have it located 8.1 from the front of the cockpit, and then this one that looks way off, 17.1, right? So just again, this is where the rubber hits the road. We're gonna come at this with fresh eyes and check these numbers, okay? Looking good. And then our vertical. So the front bolts are clearly higher. We've got that at 10. The rear bolts are lower. We have them at 14.5. That should create a level, a cockpit level, right? A sort of horizontal cockpit level for us. All right? Good. Good. Now, there's no question that, the cockpit, standard size cockpit, is going to extend out to the rear, but we're going to have a good portion, okay, a good portion of Zena's weight right over kind of the sweet spot here on the wheel hub, and then that lower back kind of swings into the butt down here for less and less of the actual load, okay? So head, torso, front paws all over the wheel hub, right where sort of the passenger seat area would be. That's what we want to see. Okay, we're keeping it lower by sort of resting on the wheel hub, and of course supporting the load not only with the wheel hub but also with these brackets, and then these central bolts that will provide some anchoring, or I should say some additional anchoring. Okay, so there we go. Sherry, any questions? Anything's unclear, you reach out, let me know. The way to move forward here is any changes you want to make, you're going to click revise on the build diagram, the mounting diagram, the form, right? And then you tell me which letter you want to change, what's the new measurement. I will update and revise the mounting diagram accordingly. And when we have a version that requires no changes, you're absolutely happy with each of these, that's when you click approve, and that's what we build to.